Hello, my name is Ian Barber, and today we're going to be looking at customer refunds and how they work in Sage Intacct. To start off with, we need to configure the system to allow us to make customer refunds, and to do this, we initially go to top level and we go to accounts receivable setup configuration. We then scroll down to the section that says customer refunds, and in customer refunds, you'll see two tick boxes here, one that says record paid refunds and the other one that says process refund payments and accounts payable. So I will turn on record paid refunds, and in record paid refunds, I will select a summary frequency saying once per refund. I will use a journal that I've already set up called AR Refunds. Now it's up to you as to what journal you use, but we recommend using your own journal that you need to set up in general ledger journals. And then we also use a document sequence for the customer refund transaction itself. And here we have one called AR Refunds. Again, you can set this up yourself in your company settings, or you can set it up from here, just going add a new document sequence. We can also process refunds via accounts payable, so we can create a payment transaction in accounts payable if we want to use that to pay via bank file or simply to have it in accounts payable. And to do that, we turn on the process refund payments and accounts payable. When we do that, we need a clearing account. And in this case, I have one set up just called 999, so I'm going to choose that because that account will act as the go-between between accounts receivable and accounts payable. And after finalizing the processing of the transactions, that should come back to zero. Now that we've done that, we need to make sure that our permissions are available for customer refunds. And to do that, we go to, at top level, we go to company, admin, roles, select the role we need to update. In this case, I'm just going to choose admin. View the subscriptions. And under accounts receivable, check the permissions. And you will note, you won't see it in this one because I've already enabled it, there is a line called customer refunds. And when you first come in here after enabling customer refunds, these tick boxes will all be blank. So you'll need to tick them to enable customer refunds. Let's save that and we'll move on to the next step. We're now at entity level. And in this case, we have a customer called Manchester Laboratories. And looking at their account, I can see that I have an invoice for 6,000. I have a payment for 6,000, and I have an adjustment or a credit note come through for 6,000. We'll also see that we've already got a refund entry in here for 4,000. So we'll go and see where that came from. We will see in the accounts receivable menu, under payments, you'll find a refunds button. In this case, I can't see one. That's because we've only just turned on refunds, and I need to refresh the screen to enable refund menu to come up. And go to accounts receivable, there's refunds there. And if I look at refunds, in fact, in this case, I'll find that I've already got one refund in there. And I will show you that refund quickly. So this refund here, this was just made using the normal record transfer method. And I will see that I've selected customer, I've selected the payment information, I've used record transfer as a method, selected a GBP bank, chosen the currency as GBP. Now we can only make refunds in the base currency of the entity that we're working in. So this United Kingdom entity does have a base currency of GBP. And we will see an adjustment entry come up for the 6,000, of which I've refunded 4,000. So that will simply go and create this entry that we saw 2 minutes ago against the customer. If I look at their ledger, we have the refund transaction there of a negative payment of 4,000. Now I want to make the second payment, a refund payment of 2,000. But for this one, I'm going to do this using the second method. Now, when we do the pay using AP method, there's one thing that we need to do with the customer. So if I go and look at my customers again, now this customer has been set up at entity level. If your customer was set up at top level, you need to make the change at top level. And when I look at this customer, you'll now see that there is an extra tab on the screen. So there's a tab here called refunds. And when I go to refunds, here it's saying, okay, when I make a payment for this customer, which supplier do I want to link this to? Because that it will raise a transaction against that supplier which is where the payment's going to come off, and I can choose which supplier to put it through. But preferably, I'll just choose an auto-generated supplier, so it'll create a new supplier connected to this company when I make the refund payment. Now, there's one proviso with that. You need to make sure you have auto-sequencing enabled so that the supplier can be created automatically. Now that I've done that, I'll go back to my refunds, and I'll create a new refund for same customer, same refund date. Now I'm going to choose a payment method of process in accounts payable using GBP. And here's my adjustment entry. Now you need a negative invoice or credit memo or an outstanding payment that hasn't been applied to an invoice in here to be able to apply your refund to. So I'm choosing this one, and I have 2,000 left in credits available. So I'm going to process that 2,000, and I will post that entry. If I go back to my AR ledger report and view that, we'll see that the customer account now has the 2,000 applied against it, and the balance has come down to zero. The money still hasn't come out the bank because this is now sitting in accounts payable. And if we go to accounts payable and we look at accounts payable invoices, there's my new supplier, Manchester Laboratories, with a 2,000 invoice sitting against them. And all I need to do now is pay them as normal. So the normal way that you would pay your accounts payable invoices, you would do it here, and the transaction would go to the other side of our clearing account that we set up. And if I just choose pay here and want to pay this via a GBP account, which that will be, and GBP, yes, select to pay, paying 2,000, and pay that now, and save. The payment is now gone. The supplier account has now been cleared out. If I just go and check this by looking at my general ledger now, look at my general ledger accounts, and this is the account that I want to look at. I'll see there's the 2,000 refund that's come from accounts receivable and the 2,000 that's gone out through the payment. And that's all you need to know for customer refunds. To assist you with customer refunds, go to the help screen, look at customer refunds overview. There are some important notes at the end of this particular screen to look at, and those are the limitations with customer refunds. You can't use an invoice that has a negative line on it, so you wouldn't be able to just pay the negative line on an invoice. Same with inline credits. Refunds are only supported in the base currency. If your company uses multiple currencies, you will not see the customer balance when you're recording a refund at top level. You can pay a USD customer a refund where it's a GBP company, but the refund would have to be in GBP. So there are a few limitations with the refunds. Thank you for your time, and if you have any queries, feel free to contact the Intacct support team.